I'm so glad you're here with me today. Before we start, say this out loud right now, wherever you are. I am ready to train my ears. Good. That's exactly the mindset you need for the next few minutes, because today you're going to fix a problem that almost every English learner blames on the wrong thing. You've probably said it yourself. Native speakers talk too fast. I can understand English in the textbook, but the moment a real person speaks, everything blurs together. My teacher speaks slowly and clearly, but on the street, on the phone, in a meeting, the words just disappear. I want to tell you something important right now, and I want you to really absorb it. It's not that native speakers talk too fast. It's that your ears have never been trained to catch the sounds they're actually making. Speed isn't the enemy. Untrained listening is the enemy. And today, in the next 12 to 14,000 words, we are going to retrain your ears from the ground up, while also loading you up with 60-plus pieces of real advanced vocabulary, the kind of words and phrases that C1 and C2 speakers actually reach for in real conversations at work, in relationships, while traveling, while negotiating, while comforting a friend. This is not a phrase bank of basic sentences, dressed up as advanced. Every single word you learn today is genuinely upper intermediate to advanced level. And every single word comes wrapped inside a real situation, a real dialogue, and a real listening drill. So you can actually use it, not just recognize it on a page. My name is Sophie, and this is Natural Word English. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're a regular, welcome back, my friend. Let's get into exactly why native English sounds fast, and then let's fix it together. One sound, one word, one sentence at a time. Here's the secret nobody tells you in school. When native speakers talk, they don't pronounce every word separately the way a textbook recording does. They blend words together. They drop sounds. They stretch some syllables and almost swallow others. What are you doing becomes whatcha doing. Did you eat becomes did jeet. I don't know becomes I don't know. This isn't lazy speech. This is simply how fluent, relaxed, natural English actually sounds in every English-speaking country, every single day. And here's the good news. This pattern is completely predictable. Once your ear learns the pattern, you stop hearing fast, blurry noise, and you start hearing individual words again, just connected in a new way. That's the whole secret. Not speed, pattern recognition. So today, we're combining two things that almost nobody combines well. First, real ear training, connected speech, word stress, intonation, listening for the main idea instead of every single word. Second, real advanced vocabulary. Words that will make you sound articulate, precise, and confident, not just correct. We'll move through this together in blocks, roughly 5 to 7 minutes each one built around a real-life situation. work conversations, emotional conversations, travel situations, personality descriptions, and more. Every block ends with a small win, a small moment where you'll notice, I actually understood that. Hold on to those moments. They add up fast. Let's open with a small challenge. Because I want you to hear, right now, the difference between what you think native speech sounds like and what it actually sounds like. Ease! Listen to this sentence spoken slowly and clearly, word by word. What do you want to do tonight? Now listen to how a native speaker would actually say it in a relaxed conversation. Wadaya wanna do tonight? Did you catch it? What do you collapses into wadaya. Want to collapses into wanna. This is called connected speech, and it happens constantly in every accent, every region, every native speaker, whether they're from London, Los Angeles, Toronto, or Sydney. Once you expect it, it stops surprising you, and once it stops surprising you, your brain stops panicking and starts listening for meaning instead. Let's move into our first real vocabulary block, and we're going to build it around a theme of listening and communication itself, since that's exactly what today's video is about. Our first word is discern. To discern something means to notice or understand it, especially something that is not obvious at first, something subtle. Instead of saying, I could hear it a little, a more advanced speaker says, I could discern a slight change in her tone. Picture this. You're on a phone call with a colleague, and something feels off, even though her words sound normal. Visualize the scene with me. You're sitting at your desk, phone pressed to your ear, the office humming quietly around you, and there's a pause on the other end of the line that makes your stomach tighten just slightly. Now listen to this short dialogue between two coworkers, Maya and Daniel, and notice how naturally discern fits into real conversation. Maya, did you talk to Daniel this morning? He seemed a little off during the call. Daniel, actually, that was me you were talking to. Maya, oh, I'm so sorry. I meant Jordan. Anyway, I could discern a real hesitation in his voice when I asked about the deadline. Daniel, yeah, I noticed that too. Something's not adding up. Maya, should we check in with him directly or give him some space first? Daniel, let's give him until tomorrow. If he's still hesitant, we'll ask directly. Notice how the conversation flows across 6 full turns, not just 2 quick lines. That's exactly the kind of real back and forth you'll experience in actual English conversations, and it's exactly the kind of listening practice that trains your ear for natural rhythm, not robotic textbook exchanges. Now, shadow this word with me. Say it out loud right now, immediately after you hear it, like an echo. Discern. Discern. I could discern a change in her tone. That's shadowing. You're not translating. You're not thinking. You're just echoing the sound the instant you hear it, training your mouth and your ear to move together. Our next word is elusive. Something elusive is difficult to catch, find, or fully understand or describe. Instead of the basic word hard to find, we say elusive. The reason for his sudden silence remained elusive. Here's a quick listening and stress note for you. Listen to how the stress falls on the second syllable, elusive, not elusive, not elusive. Say it slowly first. E-lu-sive. Now say it at natural speed. Elusive, elusive. Good. That small stress shift is exactly the kind of detail that makes native listeners immediately understand you, and it's exactly the kind of detail that helps your ear catch words instantly when someone else says them fast. Let's put it into a real-life situation. Imagine you're trying to figure out why a friend has been distant lately, and you're explaining this to another friend over coffee. Visualize it. The warm smell of coffee around you. The soft clinking of cups. Afternoon light coming through the window, and a quiet worry sitting in your chest as you try to put your feelings into words. I've been trying to figure out why Lena's been so distant lately. Friend, have you asked her directly? I have, but the real reason still feels elusive. She gives me an answer, but it never quite explains everything. Friend, maybe it's not one big thing. Maybe it's a bunch of small things she hasn't processed yet. That's actually a really good point. I hadn't thought of it that way. Friend, give her space, but stay close. Sometimes the answer becomes clear on its own, later. Beautiful. Now here's your practice moment for this block. Pause for a second, and using your own life, try to answer this out loud. What is something in your life right now that feels elusive? Don't worry about a perfect sentence. Just try. That single attempt, right now, out loud, is worth more than passively listening for another 10 minutes. Let's add a third word to this block. Articulate. As an adjective, it means expressing yourself clearly and effectively. As a verb, it means to express something clearly. She's incredibly articulate when she explains complicated ideas. Notice the pronunciation difference. As an adjective, it's articulate, softer at the end. As a verb, it's articulate, fuller at the end. Articulate your thoughts. Listen to both. Articulate, adjective. Articulate, verb. Same spelling, slightly different sound, different job in the sentence. This is a perfect example of why listening for context matters more than listening for every individual sound. Your brain figures out which one it is from how the sentence is built, not just from the word itself. Here's just a workplace situation for you. Visualize a meeting room, the low hum of a projector, a slightly nervous energy in the air because it's your turn to present. Volager, can you walk us through your proposal? Take your time. Of course. I want to articulate this clearly, so bear with me if I pause for a second. Manager, take all the time you need. The core issue is that our current process wastes time on manual approvals. I'd like to propose an automated system instead. Manager, that's a strong point, and honestly, very well articulated. Can you send me the details after this? Absolutely. I'll have it in your inbox by this afternoon. Wonderful work already. You're building real vocabulary, real listening skill, and real conversational confidence all at once, and we've barely begun. That's exactly the pace we'll keep for the rest of this video. Now let's slow down for a second and talk about why connected speech happens, because understanding the why makes the pattern stick in your memory, me saw to, far better than just memorizing examples. English is what we call a stress-timed language. That means the rhythm of a sentence is built around the stressed, important words and the small connecting words in between. To, of, a, the, and get squeezed and shortened to keep that rhythm steady. That's why I want to go becomes I wanna go. That's why a cup of tea becomes a cup of tea in casual speech. The important words stay strong and clear. The small words shrink. Once you start listening for the strong, stressed words in a sentence, instead of trying to catch every single word equally, everything gets easier instantly. Let's practice this right now with a short listening challenge. I'm going to say a sentence slowly first, then at natural native speed. Listen for the strong words only. Slow. I am going to the store later. Natural. I'm going to go to the store later. Did you catch store and later as the strongest, clearest words? Good. That's exactly what your ear should be reaching for first. The rest fills in around it, almost fills automatically once your brain trusts the pattern. Let's bring in our next vocabulary cluster, this time around personality and emotional description, because this is one of the areas where learners most often get stuck using the same 5 basic words. Nice, happy, sad, good, bad, over and over again. Let's upgrade that immediately. Our next word is reserved. A reserved person is someone who doesn't easily show their emotions or share personal information. They tend to be quiet and private, especially with people they don't know well. Instead of the basic word shy, which suggests nervousness, reserved suggests a controlled, private choice. He's quite reserved at first, but once he trusts you, he opens up a lot. Picture this scene. You're at a work dinner, sitting next to a new coworker who barely says a word for the first 20 minutes. Is Marcus always this quiet? Or is it just me? Coworker. Oh, he's pretty reserved with new people. Give him time. Good to know. I was starting to think I'd said something wrong. Coworker. Not at all. Once he warms up, he's actually one of the funniest people on the team. That's a relief. I'll try not to take the silence personally then. Coworker. Honestly, most of us thought the exact same thing when we first met him. Let's contrast reserved with our next word, candid. Candid means honest and direct, saying exactly what you think, even if it's uncomfortable, without hiding your real opinion. She gave me some really candid feedback on my presentation. Listen to the stress, candid, strong on the first syllable. Say it with me, slowly then naturally. Can, did, candid, candid. Here's your role switch moment. One of the techniques we promised you earlier in this video. I'm going to read a line as person A, and then I want you to actually pause the video and answer out loud as person B, using your own words, before I give you the sample answer. Ready? Person A. Can I be candid with you about something? Pause the video now and imagine your person B. What would you actually say back? Take a moment, say it out loud. Okay, here's a natural sample response. Of course, I'd rather you be candid than hold back. See how differently you might have said it? That's completely fine. There's no single correct answer in real conversation, only natural, appropriate responses. And you just practiced producing one yourself out loud, using your own voice. That is real speaking practice, not passive listening. Let's keep building. Our next word is perceptive. Someone perceptive notices things quickly and understands people or situations very well, often things others miss. She's incredibly perceptive. She noticed I was upset before I even said anything. Say it with me. Perceptive. Perceptive. Notice the stress on the second syllable, per-C-E-P, tive, and a closely related word, intuitive. Someone intuitive understands things instinctively without needing a clear, logical explanation. They simply sense what's true or right. He made an intuitive decision, and it turned out to be exactly right. These two words often travel together in real conversations about people who just get it. So let's put them in one connected scene together. Visualize this. Two old friends walking through a quiet park. In the evening, the sky turning orange, talking honestly about a mutual friend, friend A. Have you noticed how Priya always seems to know when something's wrong, even before you tell her? Friend B. She's incredibly perceptive. It's almost unsettling sometimes. Friend A, right? And it's not just that she notices things. She has this intuitive sense of exactly what to say. Friend B, I think some people are just wired that way. It's a gift, honestly. Friend A, I wish I had even half of that. I usually notice things days too late. Friend B, you're more perceptive than you think. You just don't trust your instincts yet. That last line matters, doesn't it? Sit with that for a second. Sometimes the vocabulary we learn carries a little wisdom along with the grammar, and that's a beautiful bonus of learning language through real human context instead of dry lists. Nice work getting through that block. But you're already deep into genuinely advanced vocabulary, real dialogue, and real listening training. And we've still got a lot of ground to cover together. Let's shift gears for a moment and go back to ear training, specifically connected speech patterns you'll hear constantly in daily conversation. Let's look at question intonation now, because this trips up so many learners. In English, most information questions, the ones starting with what, where, why, how, tend to fall in pitch at the end, while yes or no questions tend to rise in pitch at the end. Listen to the difference. Falling. Information question. What time did you get home? Notice how home drops down at the end. Now rising, yes or no question. Did you get home okay? Notice how okay lifts up at the end, almost like it's reaching upward. Try both out loud with me right now. First, the falling one. What time did you get home? Now, the rising one. Did you get home okay? This single pattern, once your ear catches it automatically, helps you instantly know whether someone is asking for information or just checking something with you. Even before they finish the sentence, let's also practice a very common piece of connected speech you'll hear constantly. Gonna, wanna, gotta, kinda, sorta. These aren't slang mistakes. They're standard casual pronunciations used by native speakers in nearly every relaxed conversation, in emails between friends, in podcasts, in everyday chats. I gotta go instead of I have got to go. I kinda like it instead of I kind of like it. Let's shadow a full sentence built from these. Listen first at natural speed. I kinda wanna leave early, but I gotta finish this first. Now shadow it immediately after me, right now, out loud. I kinda wanna leave early, but I gotta finish this first. Say it again, a little faster this time, matching the natural rhythm. I kinda wanna leave early, but I gotta finish this first. Excellent. That rhythm, once it lives in your mouth, becomes instantly recognizable in your ears too. Speaking and listening train each other. They're not separate skills. Let's move into our next vocabulary block, this time centered on the workplace. Since so many of you have told us that professional English is exactly where you feel your vocabulary runs dry the fastest. Our first word here is streamline. To streamline a process means to make it simpler, faster, and more efficient by removing unnecessary steps. We need to streamline our onboarding process. It currently takes way too long. Picture a slightly frustrated team meeting, laptops open, a shared document on the screen, everyone a little tired but focused. Colleague. Honestly, the current approval process is a nightmare. 5 people have to sign off on one document. I agree completely. I think we should streamline it down to 2 approvals, maybe 3 at most. Colleague. That would save so much time. Who do we even talk to about changing it? I can draft a proposal this week if you're willing to review it with me before we send it up. Colleague. Definitely. Let's grab 20 minutes tomorrow morning to go through it together. Perfect. I'll send a calendar invite right after this meeting. Our next word, closely related in feeling, is prioritize. To prioritize means to treat something as more important than other things and to deal with it first. You need to prioritize the client's request before anything else today. Say it with me, noticing the stress on the first syllable. Prioritize. Prioritize. Let's add a phonetic note here because this word is a perfect example of natural syllable reduction. In fast, casual speech, prioritize often sounds closer to prioritize, with the middle syllables softened almost to nothing. Listen slowly first. Pri or I ties. Now at natural conversational speed, prioritize. The core sound and rhythm stay recognizable even when some middle syllables blur slightly. And that's completely normal, not something to fear. Our third word for this block is delegate. To delegate means to give a task or responsibility to someone else, usually someone on your team, instead of doing everything yourself. You can't do everything alone. You need to delegate more. Here's a longer workplace dialogue, using role switching again, so get ready to actually speak out loud when I prompt you, Dollager. You seem overwhelmed this week. Are you handling everything yourself? You. Honestly, yes. I haven't been delegating enough, and it's catching up with me. Manager. What's one task right now that someone else on the team could realistically take over? You. Probably the weekly report. Jordan actually knows that process better than I do at this point. Manager. Then hand it to Jordan today, not next week. Today. You're right. I'll talk to him after this meeting. Manager. Good. And check in with me Friday so we can see how much lighter your week feels. Now, here's your role switch moment. I'll read the manager's opening line again, and this time you respond as yourself. In your real life, thinking about something you personally need to delegate or hand off. Manager. Are you handling everything yourself? Pause now and answer honestly, out loud, in English. Whatever you said, well done. That was real, personal, spontaneous English production. Exactly the skill that transfers directly into real conversations outside this video. Let's slow the pace down for just a moment, the way we promised earlier, and take a short, calmer stretch together. Before we speed back up, close your eyes for a few seconds if you're somewhere safe to do that, or simply soften your shoulders, and take one slow breath in and one slow breath out. You've already learned 9 real usable C1, C2 words and phrases, practiced 2 full role switch conversations, and trained your ear on connected speech, question intonation, and syllable reduction. That is genuinely excellent progress. And we still have a long, rich stretch of this lesson ahead of us together. When you're ready, take one more breath and let's keep going, because there's a lot more waiting for you. Emotional vocabulary for real relationships, travel situations, a deep listening drill on fast native speech, a self-practice exercise using your own surroundings, and a full fluency round at the end to lock everything in. Type 1 now, and I'll continue directly from this exact point. No reintroduction. Straight into the next part of your lesson. That gentle pause did exactly what it needed to do. Your mind is calmer now, and calm minds absorb language faster than tense ones. Let's move straight into our next block, and this one is close to everyone's heart. Vocabulary for describing emotions and relationships in a deeper, more precise way than good, bad, happy, or upset. Our first word here is overwhelmed. To feel overwhelmed means to feel like you have too much to handle emotionally or mentally, so much that it becomes hard to think clearly or function normally. I've been feeling completely overwhelmed since the new project started. Notice the stress pattern. Over HLMD, strong on the second syllable, and notice how in fast speech, I've been often blends into something closer to I've been, with the vowel shortened. Listen slowly. I have been feeling overwhelmed. Now naturally. I've been feeling overwhelmed. Shadow it with me right now, immediately. I've been feeling overwhelmed. Good. Let's put it in a real, emotionally honest scene. Picture two close friends sitting on a couch late at night. The room dim except for one lamp, one of them clearly holding something in for a while before finally letting it out. Friend A. You've seemed off lately. Everything okay? Friend B. Honestly? No, not really. I've been feeling completely overwhelmed with work and everything at home. Friend A. Why didn't you say something sooner? You don't have to carry all of that alone. Friend B. I guess I didn't want to seem like I couldn't handle it. Friend A. You're allowed to not handle everything perfectly, you know. That's what friends are for. Friend B. I know that logically, but it's harder to actually believe it sometimes. That's a beautifully real exchange, and notice something important. Real emotional English isn't always neat and resolved. Sometimes it just sits there, honest and unfinished. And that's exactly how native speakers actually talk about feelings. Our next word is vulnerable. To be vulnerable means to be emotionally open in a way that could get you hurt, to let your guard down and show your real feelings, even though it feels risky. It took a lot for her to be that vulnerable with me. Say it with me, noticing the stress on the first syllable. Vulnerable. Vulnerable. In fast, natural speech, the middle syllables often soften, closer to vulnerable. Listen, vulnerable. Vulnerable. Let's contrast this with guarded, which means the opposite. Someone guarded protects their feelings carefully and doesn't easily let people get emotionally close, often because of past hurt. Hurt. He's pretty guarded when it comes to talking about his family. These two words often appear together in real conversations about trust. So let's build a scene around both. Person A. I feel like every time we get close to something real, you shut the conversation down. Person B. I know. I've always been pretty guarded, especially about this stuff. Person A. I'm not trying to push you. I just want you to know it's safe to be vulnerable with me. Person B. I believe that, logically. It's just hard to actually do, even with someone I trust. Person A. Take whatever time you need. I'm not going anywhere. Person B. That actually means more than you probably realize right now. Take a slow breath after that one if you need to. Real language, real emotion, real growth, all wrapped into 6 lines of natural, advanced level dialogue. Let's add one more word to round out this emotional cluster. Reconcile. To reconcile means to repair a relationship after conflict, to become friendly again after an argument or disagreement, or to make two different ideas fit together peacefully. They finally reconciled after almost a year of not speaking. Listen for the stress. Reconcile, strong on the first syllable, softer through the rest. Reconcile, reconcile. Now, here's your self-practice moment. Using your own life, your own real relationships. Pause the video for a moment and out loud, try to finish this sentence honestly. Something I would like to reconcile in my own life is, take your time. There's no audience judging your grammar right now, only your own growth happening in real time. Beautiful work. Let's shift now toward travel vocabulary. Since so many of you have told us you want English for real trips, real airports, real conversations with strangers in unfamiliar places, not just classroom scenarios, our first word is itinerary. An itinerary is a planned route or schedule for a trip, listing the places you'll go and when. Can you send me the full itinerary before we land? Notice the pronunciation. Rare, E, 4 syllables. Stress on the second one. Slow. Itinerary. Natural. Itinerary. Picture this scene. Two friends at an airport gate, slightly stressed, trying to sort out a change of plans before their connecting flight. Friend A. Wait, did they just announce a gate change? Friend B. Yeah, we're now leaving from B14 instead of B22. Let me check the itinerary again. Friend A. Do we still have enough time to grab coffee first? Friend B. Barely. If we hurry, maybe. Otherwise, we'll have to skip it. Friend A. Let's just go straight to the gate. I don't want to risk it. Friend B. Agreed. Coffee on the plane it is. Our next word is layover. A layover is a stop between flights, a period of time you spend at an airport before continuing your journey. We have a 6-hour layover in Istanbul. And closely related, jet lag, the tired, disoriented feeling you get after flying across multiple time zones when your body clock is out of sync with local time. I'm still fighting off jet lag 3 days later. Let's build a longer travel dialogue. And this time, we're going to use another role switch moment, so get ready. Visualize a hotel lobby, soft lighting, the quiet buzz of a nearby coffee machine, two travelers who just met chatting while waiting to check in. Traveler A. First time in the city? Traveler B. Yeah, and I'm completely wiped out. My layover in Doha turned into almost 8 hours because of a delay. Traveler A. Oh no. How's the jet lag treating you? Traveler B. Brutal. Honestly, I feel like I'm operating on half a brain right now. Now it's your turn. Traveler A is about to ask a follow-up question. I'll read the line, then pause, and you respond as Traveler B, using your own words, based on your own real travel experiences, if you have any. Traveler A. Any tips for beating jet lag fast? Pause the video now and answer as Traveler B, out loud, in your own words. Whatever advice you gave, that was genuine spoken English, produced spontaneously, under pressure exactly like it happens in real conversations with real strangers. Here's a sample continuation so you can compare. Traveler B, honestly, I just try to force myself onto local time immediately, even if it's painful the first day. Traveler A, that's smart. I always make the mistake of napping too long and ruining my whole schedule. Traveler B, same here, more times than I'd like to admit. Excellent. Let's add 2 more travel words quickly before we move into our deep listening drill. Off the beaten path is a phrase meaning somewhere not touristy, somewhere unusual or less commonly visited. We found this amazing little restaurant completely off the beaten path. And haggle, a verb, meaning to negotiate the price of something, usually in a market, arguing back and forth until you agree on a fair price. You're expected to haggle a bit at the local markets there. Say both with me. Off the beaten path. Haggle. Haggle. Nice work. Let's celebrate for just a second, because that's another full block of genuinely advanced, genuinely useful vocabulary wrapped inside real dialogue and real listening challenges. You're doing wonderfully, and your ear is quietly, steadily adjusting to natural rhythm with every single sentence we shadow together. Now, let's move into the heart of today's promise. A real, dedicated, deep listening drill, built specifically for fast native speech, connected sounds, and catching the main idea instead of every single word. Here's the first technique. Listening for the main idea instead of every word. When native speakers talk fast, especially in casual conversation, you are never expected to understand 100% of every sound. Even native speakers don't process every single sound consciously. Their brains fill in gaps automatically based on context. Your job is the same. Catch the key words, usually nouns, verbs, and important adjectives, and let your brain fill in the small connecting words around them. Let's practice. Listen to this sentence at natural, fast, casual speed just once. I don't know. I think we should probably just head out before it gets too crowded. Don't worry if you didn't catch every word. Now, answer this simple question in your mind. What is the main idea? If you caught something like, we should leave before it gets crowded, you got it, even if you missed dunno or probably completely. That's exactly the skill we're training. Catching meaning, not catching perfection. Here's your second technique. Natural filler responses when you don't catch everything. Native speakers use small phrases like, I see, that makes sense, right, gotcha, constantly. Even when they didn't perfectly understand every detail, simply to keep the conversation flowing naturally while their brain catches up. This is completely normal and completely acceptable, even for native speakers talking to each other. Let's practice this with a quick exchange. Listen to this fast, natural line. Yeah. So basically, the whole system crashed right before the deadline, and we had to redo like 3 hours of work. Even if parts of that felt fast, you can respond naturally with something like, "Oh no, that's rough." Or simply, "Right, that makes sense why you're stressed." You don't need every detail to respond appropriately and naturally. This single mindset shift removes an enormous amount of listening anxiety. Let's do a longer connected speech. Listening challenge now, combining several sounds we've studied today. I'll say it slowly first, then naturally, and I want you to shadow the natural version immediately after you hear it. Slow. What do you want to eat for dinner? I am kind of in the mood for something spicy. Natural. Would I want to eat for dinner? I'm kinda in the mood for something spicy. Now shadow it with me, right now, immediately, out loud. Wadaya wanna eat for dinner? I'm kinda in the mood for something spicy. One more time, a little faster. Wadaya wanna eat for dinner? I'm kinda in the mood for something spicy. Beautifully done. Feel how your mouth is starting to move more naturally through that rhythm. That physical comfort directly builds your listening comfort too. Let's practice one more connected speech pattern. The way him, her, and them often lose their H sound completely in casual speech when they come after a verb. Tell him becomes tell im. Ask her becomes ask er. Give them becomes give 'em. Listen. Tell him about it. Tell him about it. Ask her what she thinks. Ask her what she thinks. Shadow both with me now. Tell him about it. Ask her what she thinks. Excellent work. These aren't separate rules to memorize one by one forever. They're one single pattern, softening unstressed sounds around the strong, important words, appearing again and again in slightly different forms. Now, let's do our self-practice. Exercise using your own surroundings. Exactly the kind of technique that turns passive video, watching into real, active English fluency you carry with you long after this video ends. I want you to look around wherever you are right now and using at least 3 of the words we've learned today, describe your environment out loud using your senses. Here's a model example to guide you using vocabulary from today's lesson. Right now, I feel a little overwhelmed by how much I still need to do today, but I'm trying to prioritize the most important task first. I can discern the quiet hum of traffic outside my window, and honestly, this small moment of practice feels surprisingly calming. Now it's genuinely your turn. Pause the video, look around you, and speak out loud for at least 30 seconds, describing what you see, hear, and feel using today's vocabulary as much as naturally fits. Don't worry about perfection. The goal is activation, not accuracy. Take your time. When you're ready, come back, and let's keep building. However that felt, whether smooth or a little clumsy, that is real, spontaneous, self-generated English. And it is worth more than an hour of passive listening. This is the exact exercise that separates learners who understand English from learners who actually live inside English. Let's move into our next vocabulary block. This time, built around describing challenges, problem solving, and personal growth, since so much of real conversation revolves around navigating difficulty, not just describing happy, easy things. Our first word is setback. A setback is a problem or difficulty that delays or interrupts your progress toward a goal. We had a major setback when our main supplier suddenly closed. Notice the compound stress. Setback. Both parts clear, but the first slightly stronger. Say it with me. Setback. Setback. Picture a small business owner explaining a difficult month to a business partner over the phone, tired but still trying to stay hopeful. Partner A. How's everything going with the new product launch? Partner B. Honestly, we hit a pretty big setback. Our packaging supplier went out of business with almost no warning. Partner A. That's rough. How far behind does that put us? Partner B. At least 3 weeks, maybe more if we can't find a replacement fast. Partner A. Okay. Let's not panic yet. Send me a list of backup suppliers and I'll start calling around today. Partner B. Thank you. Honestly, just having a plan again makes this feel a lot less overwhelming. Our next word is resilient. Someone resilient recovers quickly from difficulties. They're strong, adaptable, and don't stay defeated for long. She's incredibly resilient. Every setback just seems to make her more determined. Say it with me, noting the stress. Resilient, strong on the second syllable. Resilient, resilient. Let's add persevere, a verb meaning to continue trying to do something difficult, despite obstacles or discouragement, without giving up. Despite everything, he chose to persevere. And breakthrough, a noun meaning a sudden, important discovery or success after a period of difficulty or effort. After months of struggling, we finally had a breakthrough. Let's connect all 4 of these words in one flowing, emotionally real story-style passage, the kind of longer connected speech that trains your listening for sustained, natural narration, not just short exchanges. Listen to this passage at natural speed. Honestly, the first few months were brutal. We hit setback after setback. Our funding fell through twice, and half the original team left. But somehow, we kept choosing to persevere, even on the days it felt pointless. And then, almost out of nowhere, we had this incredible breakthrough with a totally different approach we hadn't even considered before. Looking back now, I think that's what resilient people actually do. They don't avoid the hard parts. They just keep showing up through them. Now shadow that passage with me, sentence by sentence, immediately echoing each one. Honestly, the first few months were brutal. We hit setback after setback. Our funding fell through twice. But somehow, we kept choosing to persevere, and then we had this incredible breakthrough. That's what resilient people actually do. They just keep showing up through them. That's real, sustained, native speed narration. And you just shadowed the entire thing, word by word, sound by sound. Feel proud of that. That kind of sustained listening stamina is exactly what separates confident English users from anxious ones. You are doing genuinely excellent work today, and we still have more ahead of us together. A few more focused vocabulary blocks, more connected speech drills, another calm moment to reset. And finally, our full fluency round, where we race back through everything you've learned today at a natural, confident pace, plus your specific call to action at the end. Type 1 whenever you're ready, and we'll continue directly from this exact point. Let's keep the momentum going, moving now into a vocabulary block built around technology and daily digital life, since this is where so many learners suddenly find themselves stuck between very basic words and words that sound stiff or overly formal. Our first word here is glitch. A glitch is a small, temporary problem or malfunction, usually in a machine, app, or system, that causes it to work incorrectly for a short time. The app kept glitching every time I tried to upload a photo. Notice the short, sharp sound. Glitch, one quick syllable. Say it with me. Glitch, glitch. Picture this scene. Two coworkers trying to finish an online presentation minutes before a client call, visibly stressed, staring at a frozen screen. Coworker A. A. Please tell me you're seeing this too, and it's not just my laptop. Coworker B. No, I see it. The slides keep freezing. I think it's some kind of glitch with the new update. Coworker A. We have 4 minutes before the client joins the call. Coworker B. Okay, let's just switch to the backup file. I saved one from yesterday before the update. Coworker A. Please tell me that one works. Coworker B. It does, I just tested it. We're okay. Breathe. Our next word is streamlined, which we already touched on earlier as a verb, but here's the adjective form used constantly in tech and product conversations. A streamlined app or process is one that's smooth, simple, and efficient with no unnecessary complications. The new interface feels so much more streamlined than the last version. Let's add glitchy as a related casual adjective, meaning something that frequently has small technical problems. My internet's been really glitchy since the storm last week. And lag, a noun and verb describing a delay, especially a delay between an action and its result on a screen or connection. The video call kept lagging, so half the conversation felt out of sync. Here's a phonetic note worth pausing on. In fast, casual tech conversations, you'll often hear its and theirs contracted even further, almost disappearing into the words around them. Listen slowly. There is a lot of lag right now. Now, naturally, fast, there's a ton of lag right now. Shadow it with me. There's a ton of lag right now. One more time, a little faster. There's a ton of lag right now. Let's build a longer dialogue using several of these words together, and this time we'll use our role switch technique again. Visualize two friends video calling from different cities. One of them clearly frustrated with a delayed, choppy connection. Friend A. Sorry. Can you say that again? You totally froze for a second. Friend B. Ugh, sorry. My connection's been so glitchy tonight. Friend A. No worries. I think there's a ton of lag on my end too, honestly. Friend B. Maybe we should just switch to a phone call instead of video. Now it's your turn. Friend A is about to respond. I'll read the prompt, then pause, and you answer as friend A in your own natural words, based on what you'd actually say in this situation. Friend B, maybe we should just switch to a phone call instead of video. Pause the video now and respond as friend A out loud in your own words. Here's a natural sample response to compare with. Friend A, yeah, honestly, that's probably smarter at this point. Video's barely working anyway. Friend B, agreed. Calling you right now instead. Wonderful. Let's move now into one of the most requested categories from our community, commonly confused advanced words. Net. Meet net. Pairs that look or sound similar but carry different meanings. And which even confident learners frequently mix up. Up. Our first pair is affect versus effect. Affect is almost always a verb, meaning to influence something or cause a change in it. Effect is almost always a noun, meaning the result of that influence. The bad weather affected our travel plans. The effect of the bad weather was a 3-hour delay. Listen to the subtle sound difference. Affect, verb, stress on the second syllable. Affect, noun, stress on the first syllable. Say both with me. Affect, 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 affect. Our second confused pair is assure, ensure, and insure. 3 words that sound almost identical but mean genuinely different things. Assure means to tell someone confidently that something is true, to comfort or reassure them. I assure you, everything will be fine. Ensure means to make certain something happens or is true. Please ensure the documents are signed before Friday. Insure means to buy or provide insurance, financial protection against loss. We need to insure the new equipment before it arrives. Let's shadow all 3 together. I assure you it's fine. Please ensure it's done by Friday. We need to insure the equipment. Assure, insure, insure. Let's put this confused pair into a short, realistic dialogue so the difference becomes automatic rather than theoretical. Picture a manager reassuring a nervous new employee before a big presentation. New employee. I'm honestly a little nervous about presenting to the whole department. Manager. I assure you, you're more prepared than you think. You've done the work. New employee. I just want to make sure I don't forget anything important. Manager. Let's go through the checklist together to ensure everything's covered before you go in. New employee. That actually helps a lot, thank you. Manager. Anytime. And afterward, we're ensuring your confidence with a coffee, my treat. That small joke at the end lands perfectly because it plays with all 3 words together. And that's exactly how advanced native speakers sometimes have fun with language, layering meaning intentionally. Let's move into our next education and personal growth-related vocabulary cluster, since so many of our viewers are learning English specifically to study abroad, take exams, or grow professionally. Our first word is meticulous. Someone meticulous is extremely careful and precise about small details, sometimes almost perfectionist in their attention to accuracy. She's incredibly meticulous when it comes to reviewing contracts. Say it with me, noting the stress. Meticulous, strong on the second syllable. Meticulous. Meticulous is set. Our next word is procrastinate, a verb meaning to delay or postpone doing something you should be doing, usually because you're avoiding it, often due to it feeling difficult or unpleasant. I always procrastinate when it comes to writing reports. Say it with me. Procrastinate. Procrastinate. Let's connect these two in a relatable, honest dialogue between two students studying for exams late at night. The kind of natural, slightly self-deprecating humor real English speakers often use about their own habits. Student A, how's the studying going? Student B, honestly? Terribly. I've been procrastinating for 2 hours by reorganizing my desk. Student A, that's oddly specific and also very relatable. Student B, I know. It's ridiculous. You'd think I'd at least be meticulous about actual studying instead of alphabetizing my pens. Student A, okay, let's just start with one chapter together. No phones, 20 minutes, then we check in. Student B, deal. Thank you for not letting me spiral into full avoidance mode. Let's add one more powerful word here. Diligent. Someone diligent works hard, carefully, and consistently, showing steady effort over time, not just occasional bursts of energy. He's one of the most diligent students I've ever taught. Notice the contrast this creates with procrastinate. Native speakers often use these opposite-feeling words in the very same conversation, exactly the way we just did. Now, let's take another short, calm pause. Together. The second gentle break we promised earlier in this lesson. You've now learned real vocabulary across 5 different life areas today. Listening and communication, personality and emotion, travel, technology, and personal growth. That's an enormous amount of genuinely usable English, all absorbed through real dialogue, real listening drills, and real speaking practice, not passive memorization. Take one slow breath in and one slow breath out. Feel your shoulders drop just slightly. You've earned this small moment of stillness. When you're ready, we're going to move into our final major listening drill, one more role switch scene, and then our full fluency round, where we sprint back through everything you've learned today at a natural, confident, connected pace, followed by your specific call to actions. Type 1 now, and we'll continue directly, right from this exact point. Let's move into our final deep listening drill of today's lesson. And this one combines everything you've trained so far: connected speech, stress patterns, question intonation, and listening for meaning instead of individual sounds, all inside one longer, natural passage. Listen first, just once, at full natural, relaxed speed without trying to catch every word. So, basically, I was going to call you earlier, but work got kind of crazy. And by the time I checked my phone, it was already pretty late, so I figured I'd just text you instead. Now, before anything else, answer this in your mind. What's the main idea? If you understood something like, "I meant to call but got busy, so I texted instead," you understood everything that actually matters. Now let's break it into its connected speech pieces so your ear can map exactly what happened acoustically. I was going to call you, going to became gonna. Work got kinda crazy. Kind of became kinda. By the time I checked my phone, the almost disappears into by time. I figured I'd just text you instead. I would contracts fully into I'd. None of these are mistakes or sloppy speech. This is simply the natural, relaxed rhythm of spoken English, everywhere, every day. Now shadow the full sentence with me, immediately, right after you hear it. So basically, I was going to call you earlier, but work got kinda crazy, and by the time I checked my phone, it was already pretty late, so I figured I'd just text you instead. One more time, matching the natural rhythm as closely as you can. So basically, I was going to call you earlier, but work got kinda crazy, so I figured I'd just text you instead. Beautifully done. That single sentence contained 4 separate, connected speech patterns we studied today, and you just shadowed all of them together successfully in one breath. Let's do one final role switch scene before our fluency round, bringing together vocabulary from across the entire lesson today. Visualize this. 2 old friends reconnecting over dinner after months apart. Warm restaurant lighting, quiet background music, genuine happiness at seeing each other again, mixed with a little catching up to do. Friend A, it's so good to finally see you. Work has honestly been overwhelming lately. Friend B, I can tell. You look a little worn out, if I'm being candid. Friend A, yeah, we hit a pretty rough setback on a major project, and I've been trying to persevere through it, but it's been a lot. Friend B, have you thought about delegating more? You don't have to carry everything yourself. Now it's your turn one final time. I'll read Friend A's line, then pause, and you respond as Friend A, using at least one word from today's lesson, if you can, based on your own real thoughts. Friend B, have you thought about delegating more? You don't have to carry everything yourself. Pause the video now and respond as Friend A out loud using your own natural words. Here's a sample response for comparison. Friend A, honestly, you're right. I think I've been too guarded about asking for help, and it's finally catching up with me. Friend B, I'm proud of you for even saying that out loud. That's real growth. That's a genuinely moving little exchange. And notice how naturally today's vocabulary: overwhelmed, candid, setback, persevere, delegate, guarded, all flowed together inside one warm human conversation, exactly the way real advanced speakers actually talk, weaving vocabulary in naturally rather than reciting it mechanically. Now, let's move into our fluency round, the fast-paced recap where we sprint back through every single piece of vocabulary from today's lesson, one right after another. No long explanations, just quick meaning and immediate shadowing to lock everything firmly into your long-term memory. Stay with me. Keep your energy up and shadow every single word immediately as I say it. Discern, to notice something subtle. Discern. Elusive, hard to find or catch. Elusive. Articulate, to express clearly. Articulate. Reserved, quiet and private. Reserved. Candid, honest and direct. Candid. Perceptive, quick to notice. Perceptive. Intuitive, understanding instinctively. Intuitive. Reconcile, to repair a relationship. Reconcile. Vulnerable, emotionally open. Vulnerable. Guarded, protective of feelings. Guarded. Overwhelmed, too much to handle. Overwhelmed. Streamline, to simplify a process. Streamline. Prioritize, to treat as most important. Prioritize. Delegate, to hand off a task. Delegate. Itinerary, a travel plan. Itinerary. Layover, a stop between flights. Layover. Jet lag, tiredness from time zones. Jet lag. Off the beaten path, somewhere untouristy. Off the beaten path. Haggle, to negotiate a price. Haggle. Setback, a delay or difficulty. Setback. Resilient, quick to recover. Resilient. Persevere, to keep trying. Persevere. Breakthrough, a sudden success. Breakthrough. Glitch, a small technical problem. Glitch. Streamlined, smooth and efficient. Streamlined. Glitchy, prone to small problems. Glitchy. Lag, a delay. Lag. Affect, to influence. Verb, affect. Affect, a result. Noun, affect. Assure, to comfort with confidence. Assure. Insure, to make certain. Insure. Insure, to buy insurance. Insure. Meticulous, extremely careful with details. Meticulous. Procrastinate, to delay unnecessarily. Procrastinate. Diligent, hardworking and steady. Diligent. Fantastic work. You just shadowed 34 pieces of genuinely advanced C1 to C2 level vocabulary, back to back at a real conversational pace. And if your mouth felt even slightly tired by the end of that, that's actually a wonderful sign. That's your speaking muscles genuinely working, genuinely adapting, exactly the way physical muscles adapt after real exercise. Let's close today's lesson with total honesty about what actually happened here, because I think the it matters. You didn't just memorize a list of words today. You heard every single one of them inside a real human situation, a work meeting, a late-night conversation between friends, an airport gate change. a glitchy video call, a moment of honest vulnerability over dinner. That's exactly how native speakers actually store and retrieve vocabulary too, not as isolated definitions, but as words tied to real memories, real emotions, real moments. The more you connect new vocabulary to real feeling and real context, the faster and more permanently it becomes truly yours. And about that original question, whether native speakers really talk too fast, I hope today proved to you that they don't. They talk at a completely normal, natural human pace for people whose ears have been trained since childhood on this particular rhythm. Your ears simply hadn't had that training yet. Until today. Every single connected speech pattern we practiced, gonna, wanna, kinda, dropped H sounds, question intonation, stress-timed rhythm, is completely learnable, completely predictable, and now, at least partially, already living inside your own ear and your own mouth. Here's your specific, measurable call to action for today, and I really want you to actually do this one. Not just nod along. In the comments below this video, write one full sentence using at least one word you learned today, describing something true about your actual life right now. Not a random example sentence. Something real. Maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed this week. Maybe you need to delegate something. Maybe someone in your life is wonderfully perceptive. Write it, post it, and if you can, read it out loud to yourself first before you type it. That single sentence, produced from your own real life, will do more for your long-term fluency than passively rewatching this video. 5 more times. If today's lesson helped your ears and your vocabulary grow, even a little, please subscribe to Natural Word English. So next time you hear a native speaker talking at what used to feel like an impossible speed, you'll catch yourself doing something new, not panicking, just listening, calmly, confidently, the exact same way you just did throughout this entire video. Thank you so much for training with me today. Keep noticing the rhythm. Keep shadowing out loud whenever you can. And keep trusting that your ears, just like every skill you've ever built in your life, get better the more you use them. I'll see you in the next lesson.